Hi everybody and welcome to my channel, and here are my predictions for this weekend's Premiership matches. There aren't many Premiership matches being played tomorrow. There's because of teams' involvement in Europe last night, there's other matches on Sunday. Let's start with Luton Town versus Brentford. Well, of course, Luton are third from bottom, and Brentford are 15th. Not quite safe yet, Brentford. Luton, well, Luton need wins if they are to avoid going back to the Championship again. At the moment, Luton are on 25 points. Like I said, they really need wins if they want to stop up. As for Brentford, they are on, at the moment, they've got 32 points. Brentford are another team that need wins to stay up in the Premiership, but for another season. Luton have won 6, lost 20. Brentford have won 8, lost 17. And of course, Luton, they've got a lot of injuries at the moment. They can do without these injuries to players as we're getting towards the end of the season, this crucial time of this in the season when I'm trying to avoid relegation. This one, I'm going to go for Luton 0, Brentford 2. Sheffield United versus Burnley. Well, these are another two teams that are struggling, are facing relegation. Of course, Sheffield United are bottom, Burnley are second. Sheffield United have got 16 points, Burnley have got 20. I mean, you can see why these two teams are struggling. Everybody said they would at the start of the season, that they would struggle and both teams would go back down again. And of course, we're getting towards the end of the season and games are starting to run out. You can see why Sheffield United have struggled all season. Sheffield United won 3, lost 22. Burnley, well, they've fared no better. They've won 4, lost 21. This one, I'm going to go for both these teams, like I said, need a win tomorrow. They both desperately need a win. One of them's going to have to win tomorrow. I'm going to go for Sheffield United 1, Burnley 1. I don't think there'll be many goals in this tomorrow. Wolves versus Arsenal. Wolves 11th, and of course Arsenal are 2nd. And of course, it hasn't been a very good week for Arsenal, has it? They lost last weekend to Villa, and they were knocked out of the Champions League the other night to Bayern Munich. People are saying that Arsenal have blown their chances once again of winning the Premiership. But there's still lots of games to go. It only wants Manchester City to slip up. And of course, Manchester City are not playing tomorrow. They're involved in one of the semi-finals of the Cup. Wolves 11th. They're on 43 points. Not long ago, everybody was saying that they thought Wolves would mount a challenge for playing in Europe next season, but I can't see that happening. I think Wolves will probably finish where they are, 11th. Wolves have won 12, lost 13. Arsenal have won 22, lost 5. This is a game that Arsenal have got to win if they want to keep the pressure on Manchester City. But saying that, you never know. Wolves could bring a surprise tomorrow and beat Arsenal. Arsenal might be feeling a bit of an hangover from last weekend and being knocked out of the Champions League as well. This one I'm going to go for Wolves 0, Arsenal 2. Everton versus Nottingham Forest. Well, we all know the problems Everton have got. They're 16th and Forest are 17th. It seems like every season Everton are always struggling to avoid relegation. And to think that Everton were in the 70s were a good team. They had some great players back then. How they wish they had them now. The likes of Joel Royal and Alan Ball and all the other great players they had. You can see while Everton are struggling, while Everton have had a points deduction, and it looks like they got some more points deduction coming their way before the end of the season. And Forest are in the fourth from bottom. Now, I'm trying to avoid relegation. Everton have won 9, lost 15. Forest have won 7, lost 17. Of course, Everton were soundly beaten on Monday night against Chelsea. They lost. Chelsea beat them 6-0. That did them no good. This one I'm going to go for Everton 1, Nottingham Forest 2. I'm going to go for Forest to win 2-1. Villa versus Bournemouth. And of course, Villa had a great win last weekend against Arsenal, and of course they won last night in the Europa League. And of course, they're at the moment at 4th. And Bournemouth are 13th. And of course, if Villa want to finish 4th and they want to be played in the Champions League next season, they've got to win their remaining matches. And Bournemouth could do with another couple of wins to make sure they're absolutely safe for another season. Villa have won 19, lost 8. Bournemouth won 11, lost 12. This one I'm going to go for Villa 2, Bournemouth 2. I'm going to go for 2-2. Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Well, Crystal Palace had a great result, didn't they, last weekend against Liverpool? And of course, West Ham lost to Fulham and they were knocked out of the Europa League last night. Crystal Palace need to, like all the other teams above them, they need to win at least another few games to be safe. Crystal Palace are 14th at the moment. And West Ham are 8th. And of course, Crystal Palace last weekend made it very difficult for Liverpool. Crystal Palace had 1 or 2 of their players back from injury. Crystal Palace have won 8, lost 15, whereas West Ham have won 13, lost 11. This one I'm going to go for Crystal Palace 1, West Ham 0. Fulham versus Liverpool. Well, Fulham have started to win matches again. They beat West Ham last weekend. And of course, Liverpool are third. Fulham are 12th and Liverpool are third. I think Liverpool's chances of winning the Premier League have gone. It's going to take... it's going to need, if Liverpool want to win the Premier League, is Manchester City and Arsenal have got to lose their last remaining games and Liverpool win theirs. But I can't see it happening. I think Liverpool's chances of winning the Premier League have gone. When Fulham have won 12, lost 15. Liverpool have won 21, lost 3. This one I'm going to go for Fulham. Fulham 1, Liverpool 0. Arsenal versus Chelsea. This is midweek games next week. And of course Chelsea are 9th. Arsenal have won 22, lost 5, whereas Chelsea have won 13, lost 10. Somehow I can't see Arsenal winning the Premier League. I think I'm going to go for Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2. I'm going to go for Chelsea to win 2-0. Wolves versus Bournemouth. This one I'm going to go for Wolves 1, Bournemouth 2. I'm going to go for Bournemouth to win 2-1. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Well, Newcastle are 6th at the moment. This one I'm going to go for Crystal Palace 2, Newcastle 1. I'm going to go for Crystal Palace to win 2-1. Everton versus Liverpool. Well, this is of course the Merseyside derby. If any team's going to be fired up for this, it's going to be Everton. Could they spring a surprise and beat Liverpool? This one I'm going to go for Everton 0, Liverpool 1. Man United versus Sheffield United. Well, what can you say about Manchester United? What's going on there at the moment? I don't think they know whether they're coming or going. They drew last weekend with Bournemouth. How they threw that lead away, I do not know. It's typical of Manchester United. And how much longer will Ten Hag be at Manchester United? Have the board or the new owners decided they're going to get rid of him at the end of the season? Or will he still be there at the start of next season? Of course, Man United have won 15, lost 12. I'm playing Sheffield United. Sheffield United, they won't make this easy for Manchester United. This one I'm going to go for Man United 2, Sheffield United 2. Brighton versus Manchester City. Well, Brighton have won 11, lost 10th. They're at the moment they're 10th. And of course Manchester City are not playing, well, they are playing tomorrow, but it's in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Brighton have won 11, lost 10. And of course, Manchester City were knocked out of the Champions League the other night. This one, I'm going to go for Brighton 0, Manchester City 3. Well, that's the end of my predictions for this weekend's and next week's Premiership matches. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all again in another video.